Here's the thing. We should all strive to have a growth mindset because it's through a growth mindset that we can reach our full potential. But let's be honest, failure is really hard. It's painful to fail. It's so challenging to get yourself up over and over again when you've failed. I've been in that place where the pain of failure has been so great that I've been like, you know what? Screw it. I don't want to do it anymore. It's not worth my time. But today when that happens to me, I always ask myself the question, okay, what can you learn from this failure? And how can I use it to be more successful in another type of challenge where I might actually really thrive? And what I've discovered is that ultimately, when you want to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, that you have to be willing to take on new challenges. You have to be willing to try new things. My suggestion would be to start small. So, for example, maybe you go out with a group as opposed to staying home by yourself. Maybe you take a class to learn a new skill. Maybe there's this idea that you've had up in your mind. You want to write a story about it or just write the idea down in general. Or maybe you've been wanting to lose weight, so you change your diet. But when you try these new challenges, don't beat yourself up if it doesn't go well the first time or you don't get the results that you want. The fact is, when we try something that we've never tried before, it's probably not going to go the way we expect. So when you fail, what you need to do is ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And you may even want to solicit feedback, which can be super scary because none of us want to be criticized. But that feedback, it can really help us to be able to do better next time. And I want you to know the fact that you're even trying something new, that's a big deal. Most people never challenge themselves to new things. So please know that I'm proud of you for putting yourself out there, for pushing your boundaries, for risking failure. Which reminds me, I need to finish telling you the story of Edward Frenkel. So Edward did follow the advice of that professor. He applied to the Institute of Oil and Exploration. And it wasn't long before one of his professors realized just how brilliant he was in math. So this professor, he reached out to Dmitri Fuchs, who was one of the most famous mathematicians in all of Russia. And Fuchs, he was part of a small group of professors who worked with promising Jewish students who had been shut out of academia. So Edward goes to meet with Fuchs, and Fuchs wants to test his mettle. He wants to see how good he is. So he gives him a problem. Now, this isn't a problem that we would be given in school where the teacher already knows the answer. This is a problem that no one has ever solved. And Edward has no idea if this is going to take 3 months, 3 years, 300 years, no concept. But he takes the problem and he goes and he just starts working on it day and night. And one day he's sitting there with all these papers strewn across his desk, and the pattern just emerges to him from the page. And he sees the solution. And he realizes in this moment that he is in possession of something that no one has ever seen before. And no one can take that away from him, especially those professors at Moscow State University. So he takes his solution to Dmitri Fuchs, who looks it over backwards and forwards. And Fuchs eventually looks at him and he says, "You did it. You solved a problem that no one else was able to solve. What do you want to do next?" And Edward looks at Fuchs and says, "I want another problem." So no matter who you are, no matter where you've been, no matter how you feel, please know that you are loved, you are seen, and you are cared for. If by no one else, by me. My name is Alex Lang, and until next time.